Hello everyone and welcome back to our test tree for angles and angle measures. It's been a while actually. I've been actually doing something. So forgive me if I do not respond to that very quickly or hastily. You know what I mean? But don't worry, we will continue this one because after this we'll be going to unit circles, which I do believe it's just a short topic for me. So not that much of a problem solving for me. But after that, we're going to talk about right triangle trigonometry. So we need to finish this one as fast as we can. All right. If you're not going to watch my test videos, well, go ahead. There's no problem. But I recommend use my test videos as your practice videos. All right. That's the purpose on why I kept uploading these ones so that at least you have more practice. Because without it, maybe you'll be having a hard time. So without further ado, let's now begin. All right. So last time we answered this one. Now let's try to answer these. So convert the angles into degrees. So remember that if you're going to convert an angle that is in radian, but it is in degrees, I mean, if you're going to convert an angle that is in radians and you're going to convert it into degrees, okay, you're going to multiply that angle by what? 180 degrees all over pi radians. All right, you're going to multiply it. So with that, let's begin. Let's start first with the first one. We have 8 pi all over 9 radians. So let's convert it into, convert into degrees. So 180 degrees all over pi radians. So what we'll have here is we will cancel out the radians, the pi's. Then 9 and 180 degrees are both divisible by 9. 9 divided by 9 is 1. And, and 180 degrees divided by 9, that is 20 degrees. So as a result, you have 8 all over 1 times 20 degrees all over 1. So the answer here would be 160 degrees. So that's the answer for the first one. So good. All right. I hope you're following me. All right. I might be answered in a quick way, but what do you call this one? Since it is a test video, so I'm assuming that you guys already know like how to convert, convert an angle into another type of angle. All right. So yeah. Anyways, let's proceed. Next, we have 22 pi all over 7 radians. Okay, so we're going to use this one as well. So 22 pi all over 7, 7 times 180 degrees all over pi radians. Oh, wait, I forgot radians. So cancel out the radians, cancel out the pi's. I'm not sure if 180 is divisible by 7 because I doubt that it will be. So 180 divided by 7, well, no. So yeah, it's not actually, let's just say, divisible. So what we have is 22 all over 7 times 180 degrees. All right. So we will multiply together. 22 times 180, you will have 3,960 all over 7. All right. So it's better to make it into decimal, decimal point though, because there are some angles that are in degrees that do not represent in this way, right? I mean, I'm not saying this is not the valid answer. It does, but it's better to make it as a whole number, like this one, for example. No. Actually, uh, it's better to make it like this, basically, just numbers or with decimal. This regardless of the signs. So with that, let's make it into decimal number. Okay, so what we have here is we will have 565.71 degrees approximately. What's that again? 565.71 degrees. So that's the answer for the second part. Approximately 565.71 degrees. Well, that's good though. Now let's answer the third objective, which is 11 pi all over 10. Yeah, all over 10 radians. So, yep, we have this one. Then times 180 degrees all over pi radians. So cancel out the radians, cancel out the pi's. 10 and 180 degrees are both divisible by 10. So 10 divided by 10 is 1. 180 degrees divided by 10 is 18 degrees. So we have 11 over 1 times 18 degrees all over 1. So multiply them together will give you the result of 198 degrees. And that's it. All right, we're good to go. And lastly, we have 33 pi all over 77 radians. All right, there we go. So here we will have 33 pi all over 7 radians times 77. So let's go. Times 180 degrees all over pi radians. Let's simplify this one. So obviously, the radians will be cancelled. Pi's will be cancelled. You see, we have 33 and 77. Both of them are divisible by 11. 33 divided by 11 is 3. And 77 divided by 11 is 7. So you have 3 all over 7 times 180 degrees all over 1. So multiply them together will give you 540 divided by 7. 540 degrees divided by 7. So again, it would be better if you're going to convert this fraction into decimal. So approximately, this is 77.14 degrees. By the way, it's up to you if you're going to convert it into 3 decimal places. All right. But for me, I would recommend it into 2 decimal places. But yeah. Excuse me. I just drank coffee, recently. So forgive me if the way how I talk is, let's just say, it's bothering you, right? But yeah, I hope you understand my point here, anyways. So we have 77.14 degrees, and yay, we're done with the conversion. All right. So that's it. So once again, the main reason why it's better to convert the answer, which is in fraction, into decimal answers, just like this one, 565.71 and 77.14 degrees, because the way how I see it, I don't see any angles that are in fractions. Like for example, let's just say 22 degrees all over 3. So for me, I think that it doesn't really exist that way, although it's correct. But I think it's better to convert it into a decimal number instead of a fraction, So with that, I do this one. I did this, right? So I suggest also doing this conversion, because there you will know at least by approximate how many are, let's just say, at least by approximate what is its equivalence to the angle that is in radians. All right. So this one is approximately 77.14 degrees, and this one is approximately 565.71 degrees. Okay. Anyways, let's now proceed. So here we'll be answering questions that are related to coterminal angles. Find the coterminal angles of 36 degrees between negative 720 degrees and 1080 degrees. So last time, I think I told you how to find the coterminal angles. Just simply add or subtract 360 degrees. All right. So if you're going to continuously add or subtract 360 degrees by a given angle, like this one, for instance, you will have an infinite number of coterminal angles. All right. So here, there's a range. So what will be the coterminal angles for 36 degrees in this range? So first, let me start adding 36 degrees. Yeah, let me just start adding 36 degrees by 360 degrees. Okay. So let's try that. 36 plus 360. The answer is 396. Whoa. That's wrong. 396 degrees. So is this one part of this range? The answer is yes, it does. All right. Now let's keep on going. 396 degrees plus 360 degrees. So what would be the answer? So 396 plus 360. So plus 360. We have 756 degrees. So is this part of this interval? The answer is yeah, it does. All right. So let's keep on going. All right, 756 plus 360 degrees. So let's take a look. Plus 360. We have 1,111 degrees. Is this part of this interval? I mean, is this part of this given interval? The answer is no, because this one is beyond this interval. So therefore, the answer should be like this, 2 only. All right. But we're not done yet because we must find angles that are what? Negative, because we have negative 720 degrees. So assumingly, maybe there are angles that are negative, but also part of this range. So let's try subtracting 36 degrees by 360 degrees. So let's take a look. 36 minus 360. Negative 324 degrees, which is part of this range, right? So we're good to go. Now let's continue. 324 degrees minus 360 degrees. Let me take a look. So this is negative 684 degrees. And it is part of this range. So good. Now let's continue. Negative 684 degrees minus 360 degrees. So the answer would be negative 1,044 degrees. So is this part of this range? The answer is no, because it's already beyond that range. So your answers are these: 396 degrees, 756 degrees, negative 324 degrees, and negative 684 degrees. These are your answers. All right? Okay, so let's proceed to the next problem. What will be the coterminal angles for negative 457 degrees in the interval 200 degrees to 800 degrees? So we're going to find the coterminal angle for this one in this interval. So as you can see, this one is a negative angle, and these angles are all positive. So that means we're going to add that given angle by 360 degrees, okay? Until we've reached the limit in this interval. So negative 470, 470, negative 457 degrees plus 360 degrees. So let me take a look. Negative 457 plus 360. This is negative 97 degrees. All right. So we're not there yet because this is still negative, right? Which is not part of this interval. So let's continue. Negative 97 degrees plus 360 degrees. Let me take a look. Plus 360. It is 263 degrees. So with that, we have our first answer because this one is part of this interval. So we're good to go. Now let's continue. 260 degrees plus 360 degrees. Let me take a look. 260 degrees plus 360. We have 623 degrees. All right. So we're also good to go because this angle is part of this interval as well. Now let's continue. 623 degrees plus 360 degrees. So here, let me take a look. Plus 360, we have 983 degrees. 983 degrees, which is beyond this interval. So no. All right, we're not going to include the first one and the last one since they are beyond from this interval. So you have two answers. The answer is 263 degrees and 623 degrees. All right. So let's now proceed to the next problem. Find the coterminal angles of 3 pi all over 4 between negative 6 pi radians and 6 pi radians. Now, here's a problem. Okay. This one, you may think it's easy. But how about those that believe that it's not easy? Because there will be people who will be having, let's just say, a bit of a hard time to answer this one. Because this one is in radians, right? And you see, usually it has pi's. It has pi's. So with that, they aren't sure if this is greater than this or this is greater than that. All right? So what to do? You approximate. Okay? You approximate. So 3 pi all over 4 is approximately, wait, let me just use my calculator. 3 pi approximately 2 points, okay, 2.36. Then for the 6 pi, approximately this is 18.85 degrees. 85 degrees, 8.85 radians. Approximately 18.85 radians. So similarly, negative 6 pi radians is just the same as negative 18.5 radians. So we need to find values within this range. So we have like positive and negative. So expect that not only we're going to add this angle into add this angle by 360, but we're going to also subtract it by 360, or in radians, 2 pi. So we're going to add and we're going to add and subtract this angle by 2 pi radians, right? So let's start first with adding it with 2 pi. So 3 pi radians plus 2 pi radians. So Let's take a look. 3 pi. I recommend you guys to use what do you call this one, calculator, so that you won't be having a hard time. Okay, unless you want hardcore, so no problem. So anyways, the answer here is exactly 11 pi all over 4 radians. Now, if you're going to approximate it, this is actually 8.64, right? 8.64. So it's still possible because it is within this range. Remember, approximately, we must stop until 18.85 approximately, right? So we must go on. So we have 11 pi all over 4 radians plus 2 pi radians. Okay, so here, 4 times 2 pi, this would be 8. So this would be 19 pi radians all over 4. Am I right? Hold on. Wait. Plus 2 pi. So, yeah, I'm correct. So this one is approximately 14.92 radians, right? 14.92 radians, which is still within this range. So, good. Okay. Now let's continue. Okay, 19 pi all over 4 radians plus 2 pi radian. Sorry if I have to write it in this location. All right, so plus 2, oh yeah, 2 pi. So the answer would be 27 all over 4. Okay, I mean 27 pi all over 4 radians. Am I right? 4 times 2, 8. 8 plus 9, 19. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 26. Okay, we're good. So approximately, this is 21.21 radians. So you see, this is already beyond 18.85. So we will not include these. By the way, before I proceed, what do you call this one? You can, if ever you're going to, if ever you're having a hard time, you can use another technique, which is converting these radians into degrees. Okay, it's up to you if that's what you want. Okay, if you don't want conversions because you're not sure if 3 pi all over 4 is 2.36 if you don't have calculator. So I decided that I suggest you should use conversion, like convert these radians into degrees. Okay, so if that's the case, you're going to add and subtract this given angle by 360 degrees. All right. After you convert these givens and the interval into degrees. Then after you get the answers, convert it back to radians. Okay. So if that's what you want, if ever you're having a hard time with this. All right. So yeah. Anyways, let's now proceed. So we have these as our answers. But since we have negative angles here, so we need to be sure that what if there would be negative coterminal angles for this one? So we will subtract it by 2 pi, 2 pi itself. Okay, this is in radians, by the way. I forgot to put the radians. Okay, so let's find our answer. 3 pi all over 4 minus 2 pi. Let me check. There you go. So this is negative 5 pi all over 4 radians. Okay. So approximately, this is negative 3.93. Okay, negative 3.93 radians. Let me take a look. Okay, good. Okay. Now, we will do it continuously. So we will subtract this one. 5 pi all over 4 radians. This is negative, by the way. So minus 2 pi radians. So this is exactly, let me take a look. Oh, whoa, wait. Negative, hold on. This is negative 13 pi all over 4 radians. So approximately, this is negative 10.21. Negative 10.21 radians. Okay, we will continuously do this one until we reach our limit. So yeah, okay, don't forget this is in radians. All right, I always encourage you to include this representative unit for this angle. Okay, because you might be confused whether if that's the number or maybe an angle. All right, so minus 2 pi, this would be negative 21 pi all over 4 radians, which is approximately negative 16.49 radians. Negative 16.49 radians. Now, what if we continuously do that? Let me write it here. Negative 21 pi all over 4 radians minus 2 pi radians. All right. So let's take a look. So minus 2 pi. This is negative 29 all over 4 pi radians, which is approximately, this is negative 22.78. So this is already beyond the range. So we will not include this. So now what's left? What's left is we have these. All right. So we have three answers. 11 pi all over 4 radians, 19 pi all over 4 radians, negative 5 pi, this is 5 pi by the way, and negative 5 pi all over 4 radians, negative 13 pi all over 4 radians, and we have negative 21 pi all over 4 radians. All right. So yeah, I think that's it. Wait, let me just make sure about one thing, right? Hold on, hold on. Okay. Yeah, so these are your answers. Okay. So we will continue this one. We will have more problems about coterminal angles and others. All right. So please bear with me. So see you soon.